And good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another installment to the Ways series. And last night we counted the 34th day of the Omer. So that leads us to the 34th way and path in which our sages give us as a special tool, a special way to maximize pleasure in life. So way number 34 is Ohevet HaMesharim, love the straight road. So our sages tell us that it is important for us to invest in honesty. Don't go for political correctness. How correct is that today, where we're living in a society where everything is about political correctness? And there's no winners, no losers, God forbid, because you can't have a loser. If someone loses something, then how are they going to deal with it? I remember my son was once playing on a soccer league, and he lost. Season was over, and he lost. And guess what?
He got a trophy.
He got a trophy.
Yeah.
And I told him, that's the last time you're going to this league. Right? Because if you lose, I want you to feel the pain of losing. Not to lose and still come home with the trophy. That makes no sense. But that's the world that we're in today. Everything is about being politically correct and making sure that no feelings are hurt and making sure. Is that what the emes is? Is that what the truth is? I'll give you an example. You ever wonder why the Torah needs to begin with God created heaven and earth? Why can't it just begin with something simpler? God created Adam, or, and it was, and Noach, and so on and so forth. Why does it have to be God created heaven and earth from the beginning? You know why? Because in order for God to promise Abraham the land of Israel, the land of Canaan, and there were already people living there. And if you think about it, it doesn't make any sense, right? You're going to kick people out of their land? Guess what? It was never their land to begin with. You know why? Because who's the creator of heaven and earth? God is the creator of heaven and earth. And as the creator, he assigned that this territory is going to belong to Abraham and his descendants, i.e., the Jewish people. So, if you look from the perspective of just walking in and you say, hey, there are these 7 nations living here in the land of Israel. You have the Chiti, the Amori, the Perizi, the Yevuzi, etc., and they're all living in the land of Israel. What rights do the Jewish people have to the land? Guess what? You have to see the full picture. The full picture is that God created heaven and earth, and God said that this is the right thing to do. So, yeah, you might hurt someone's feelings. Yeah, you may have some, but you know what? There's a right and there's a wrong. And we have to love the straight path. It's sort of the argument between intellect and emotion, where our intellect knows right from wrong, but our emotion sort of mushes it up together. Is it the right thing? It's not the right thing, but, that's where we get into trouble. So, way number 34 is, again, this is extremely, extremely abbreviated. I have an entire page of notes here. I'm only touching point number 1. By the way, what is the first book of the Torah called? Bereshit. But what is it called in the Kabbalistic term? It's called Sefer Yesharim, the book of the straight ones, referring to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, creation of the world. Right? Yeah, there are things that may not be politically correct. Doesn't mean that they're not true. It doesn't mean that that's not the straight road. So, way number 34 is not to get caught up in the emotion of things, but the straight honesty of things and the truthfulness of things is always going to be a better path. With that, my friends, we're going to sign off, and we'll be back on in a few minutes with our Musar Mondays. Thank you for joining us.